What's happening? It's Larry Loudpack bringing you the latest in cannabis news and culture. In here with my man Malik, the manager.
What's the science?
And this is Fuego News. Let's get it. German Chancellor has laid out plans for legalizing recreational marijuana on Wednesday, aiming to make the legislation law in 2024. The German coalition agreed on terms for laying out potential rec use, deciding on 30 grams to be the limit for personal possession, allowing home cultivation of up to 3 plants per adult, and intending to terminate ongoing criminal proceedings relating to cannabis. For the plan to take effect, it would need to be approved by the European Commission. Malta is the only country in Europe so far to be approved for recreational use. It makes sense. Germany is the biggest market in Europe right now.
They see what Amsterdam popping like. Where's Amsterdam?
Amsterdam's in the Netherlands, and Amsterdam is interesting because they're not legalized. They're just tolerated. It's like a gray market, kind of like they know it's happening, but it's not necessarily written in law.
Germany finna really get it cracking, eh?
Yeah, Germany about to get it cracking. I don't really hear much about Malta. It's a small country too. It's like right between like Spain and Italy.
Malta is?
Yeah, it's like a really small country. I think they went rec in 2021. Take a little trip out to Malta if you in the European area.
And shout out to all them people that's finna get freed too.
Oh yeah, for real.
Sheesh. They said 4.7 billion.
4.7 billion euros is the projected annual revenue for Germany's weed market if they went rec.
27,000 new jobs.
That's pretty crazy. But Germany has been medical, I think, since 2017. So,
okay.
And so have other European countries. But Malta's the only one to go rec so far.
Okay.
And that makes me think if the European Commission approved that for Malta, then why wouldn't they approve it for, all of Europe? It's going to open the floodgates.
It's a religious kind of thing, too. The devil's lettuce over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stigma behind marijuana is still a thing. It's a vice. Ain't no real medicinal use, according to them, so...
Yeah, I mean, there's always certain people who are just, you're not going to get through to them.
And in Europe, religion, ideals and stuff, that runs damn near the whole country. So they going to have to really get on one accord in regards to that.
Shit, good for Germany, though.
Shout out Germany.
Next story. A new cannabis consumption lounge in West Hollywood is raising the bar for lounges. Opened by celebrities Woody Harrelson and Bill Maher, The Woods is a 5,000 square foot tropical paradise with beautiful design, cabanas, plush furniture, koi ponds, and a jungle-like garden. A variety of weed products can be bought from their dispensary at the front of the building and can be brought back to the oasis to be enjoyed. You can also bring your own weed for a $20 charge. If that isn't dope enough, it's connected to a restaurant so you don't even have to leave when you get the munchies. Private cabanas can be rented for $100 to $200 per hour.
The smart play is to get dinner before you go to the lounge, definitely.
That's not what the Woods wants you to say.
I know that's not the Woods.
Nah, they know exactly what they're doing. They put the dispensary up front, you buy your weed,
Boom.
You go through, you can hang out, you smoke, you catch a vibe, you lose track of time, and then right behind that is the restaurant. And they know exactly the order of your journey. Everybody gonna end up at that fucking restaurant by the time you done. Ain't no way you leaving that bitch without getting some type of appetizers.
Have you heard of the Herba dispensary?
I mean, I read about it, but I hadn't heard about them before that.
Santa Monica Boulevard? It's hot. Hollywood's still LA. I don't know.
This place itself is nice.
That's gonna be out the way, you feel like?
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much nonsense in West Hollywood, specifically the West Side. The only nonsense that's going on is dudes getting blown out around there. We cutting all that. When you walking up to the Woods, you better watch your cheeks.
Hey, chill out. Shout out to the LGBTQ community.
Shout out to the LGBTQ community. Plus, watch your cheeks.
We are definitely cutting that. Shout out to Bill Maher for giving us a lounge. I feel like they should have been doing this a long time ago, and I honestly don't feel like it would have happened if there weren't no celebrities behind it.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely got something to do with this shit. They're basically kind of finessing around a bunch of laws because you're not supposed to be able to buy and consume on the same premises, but they're kind of dividing it up. So it's like, it's really the same premises, but it's technically not for the whatever the legislation is.
That shit gonna be like an underground society or some shit. Watch.
And you're not supposed to sell alcohol in the same place that you can sell weed. But now they're building a bar and it's about to be like technically separate. They're just finessing around the laws, but you need motherfuckers who have influence and some bread to be able to make some shit like that happen. Because your average Joe is not going to be able to pop up and make this lounge happen.
Oh, God. Like a nice date. for the ladies and shit.
Yeah, that's a nice little date.
Hey, shorty, I take you out to eat. We go smoke some weed at the lounge and actually sit down and enjoy the weed. You know what I'm saying? In a nice ambiance around some trees or something. What? Stop playing.
Like that. Next story, man. Unlicensed dispensaries operating all over New York City claim they have not been messed with by the police. New York is planning on opening their first permitted dispensaries by the end of this year, but many storefronts and outdoor stands across the city are not waiting for licenses to be issued and have been openly selling weed products. Some claim they've been running since before August. The Office of Cannabis Management has already been working with the police to investigate unlicensed shops and has put out a statement calling for all illegal stores to cease business. But the operators of these shops have seemingly had no issues with the police. Big Chief is one of the stores operating without a license, and the owner has openly done interviews saying that they've applied for licenses with the state and are waiting for approval. He also said, "We are not hiding anything, and the cops don't mess with us."
That's that.
That's about that, but we kind of see why this shit's happening right now. If you take a look at who's running this city, we seen that clip. We got to pull up this clip, man.
From some sources.
So we had Mayor Eric Adams at a press conference, and they were talking about gun rights, I think was what it was about. But the mayor caught a whiff of some loud and got real distracted.
Now, because I smell some weed. Someone is smoking. Someone is smoking. All right. You smell that, Marsha?
You smell that, Marsha?
You smell that, Marsha? You said Marsha.
He said, "Hey, you smell that, Marsha?"
Why he go to Marsha like they had just smoked some loud together?
Hey, the way he was giggling too, bro, face, that was guts.
That man should be president.
Hey, Eric Adams, I ain't gonna even hold you, bro. I'll vote for you.
Uncle Eric?
Uncle Eric.
Oh, Uncle Eric got a blunt in his car.
Right now.
It's a Swisher.
Swisher is written all over Eric Adams.
Just take a look at that. Yeah, he's Swisher sweet.
Swisher sweet?
Oh, yeah.
We all know New York is over there enjoying it. You see how Eric Adams feel about it. So, you know
well,
and
the thing that's going on in New York right now is that it's not illegal unless you get compensation for selling the weed. So you can donate, just like in California, you used to be able to donate. If you get paid for it, that's illegal. These shops have signs that say cash only on the door. So we know that they're selling shit.
Is getting paid and getting tipped two different things?
That might be how they're finessing, huh?
I just got questions. Is getting paid and getting tipped two different things? That's all I'm saying.
That's a good question, honestly. And the police know what's going on, but I don't think they're incentivized by the mayor to crack down on these businesses because the mayor is lenient with weed, and I think he's cool about it.
Mayor ain't tripping.
Hey, shout out Big Eric. Next story. An Oklahoma attorney has been charged in a ghost owner cannabis scheme. Matthew Stacy is accused of registering more than 300 LLCs to get medical cannabis licenses and has been hit with a grand jury multi-county indictment. Investigators said they were just scratching the surface. Many Oklahoma residents say they were recruited to sign ownership paperwork for businesses that Stacy would then allow his out-of-state clients to operate to avoid laws that prohibit out-of-state interests to own and operate more than 75% of a cannabis business in Oklahoma. When inquired, Stacy had told officials that the businesses weren't operating, but investigators found thousands of plants and hundreds of pounds on the premises. Come on now, Stacy. Come on now, buddy. Don't do that.
Matt Stacy.
Hey,
that sounds like the person that's gonna get caught for all this shit too. That's the guy.
He's always been the guy.
He's always